We all have that song, that song that when it starts to play, either you've put it on yourself because you wanted that particular feeling, or it turns on at a venue that you're on, or comes on the radio if you're old school and still listen to the radio. But it's that song, that song that is going to bring a particular memory, place, time, purpose directly back into focus. This is the magic of music, this universal language, this vibrational energy that can take you from where you are to a particular moment, time, and feeling in your life. I mean, it is undeniable, the magic in music. Like, it really is something that can bring about this expanded sense of feeling. It's like that sense memory that comes alive. It happens for us all. And for some people, this is what they do. Like this week, this special episode, you are going to meet my friend Molly, DJ Molly Parti. Now, Molly has had music in her life for her whole life. She grew up with, music as a part of her family. And so Molly, DJ Molly Parti, she's got this natural passion for music, and it's woven throughout everything that she does. She's had a successful 20 plus year career in the music industry as a singer, a DJ, independent radio promoter, and a publicist. And as a DJ, she has this passion in curating these soundtracks for the occasion. So she's working really in detail around putting together the different songs that are going to create an event. And in all of this work, Molly has had the opportunity of connecting with others and how they connect to music. And what happened when I was with Molly for this episode is I kept having this repeated sensation of, oh, I remember when. Like when particular songs meant something, when somebody else was telling me or sharing with me about music in their life. And it just got more and more expansive in this power of music. And sometimes I think we might even take it for granted because it's so there. I mean, most of us have a Spotify playlist, or the songs that we've shared with our girlfriends from our high school years. Like, it's always there. And so what this episode gives you an opportunity to do is to just slow down the soundtrack for a minute and just tune in for yourself. How has music turned up as a healing balm for you? How can it turn up for you if you need it? And how has magic been how has music been a magic catalyst in your life? It's a really beautiful, special episode with my friend Molly, DJ Molly Parti. Pun intended, my friends. It's time to tune in. Welcome to You Are the Magic, the podcast that is supporting women across the world to claim their magic within. I am your host, Deb D, and it's my absolute delight to share with you some of the amazing women that I know who are living big lives and making magic happen. They will be inspiration for you. I'm also going to be sharing with you some solo episodes with a little bit more about my story, the magic that I'm activating, and how you too can ignite and activate the magic within you. Because I believe it to be true. I do believe that you are the magic. And I do believe that it's time for women to reclaim our magic, our intuitive leadership, and our unique gifts and talents, so that we can be the wave of change that we know the world needs now. So join me in connecting to the magic in you, the magic of women, and let's share just a little piece of how that magic can be activated today. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, my magic maker friend. Today it's me and Molly. Molly, welcome to the magic stage.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so pleased. Today, Molly, there are so many notes, pun intended, that I want to hit with you today. I've been kind of brewing up to this interview, and I've been connecting to how music connects and influences my life, because I think it is something that we all have some layer of connection to. It's very universal. And so there's so many places that we're going to go today in our conversation. But let's begin here where we always begin on You Are the Magic, when we have an amazing woman with us on the magic stage. Molly, please share with us the magic you make, create, and share with the world.
Well, thank you, Deb, for having me. I'm really excited to be here today. I am a DJ, producer, singer, live streamer, and educator based in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm originally from St. Croix in the United States Virgin Islands. And most of what I do, I've realized as I've gone down this journey of being a full-time DJ, is that I curate music for people's events, days, whatever kind of results they want to have. I stream on Twitch, so a lot of times I curate the vibe for people's work days because that's where people are. They're at work listening to me. But especially the clients that I work with for their weddings or their birthday parties, I'm with them for a lot of hours that day, and it's a lot of different phases through the day. And so to curate that vibe and take them and their guests on this journey that's cohesive and it changes, and then add the lighting into it, it just, and like it culminates in the big celebration, which is the huge dance party at the end. But to be able to carry them on that vibe for that amount of time, specifically for them, that's kind of what I do.
Yes, I love this. Like when you're speaking, it sounds like you create musical, magical journeys, because music is going to influence the vibe. Like I've had times where I've had a playlist. Actually, I still have it now on Spotify. You know how we all have different Spotify playlists. I've got certain playlists that I will go to if I'm like sad or mad and I want justification of those feelings.
Oh, yeah.
I've also got, like, in the Big Life Magic World, we actually have a collaborative playlist where magic makers are putting on songs that make them feel good and magical. So music does have this way of really kind of soaking into the moment. And it's got everything to do with our feelings and our memories. So like for you, because you've been in music for most of your life, either as a singer or a DJ or a producer, what have you noticed about this magic of music?
Well, it's funny because I don't think I consciously understood it for a long time, because it was just part of, my mom was a singer. When I was growing up, I used to sit for hours listening to records by myself, just like having my own little party. But I didn't really put all that together until I kind of went full time just a couple years ago. Some of my biggest moments in my life have been tied to music. It's such a, even Edgar Allan Poe said, poetry next to music is one of the biggest, like, visceral, like, you have this response to it that you don't have control over. And so I don't know if any of your listeners can relate, like when you put on that album that helped you through a breakup, or that you were playing when you knew you had to quit that job, or, that you were listening to in the car after a very difficult journey home, or, those things that just like hits you in the heartstrings. I knew that I always like to create like a journey and have it be cohesive, but I never really made the connection of doing that intentionally, like asking my clients, what were the songs that you used to pregame, you know, before you went clubbing with your girlfriends? What are the songs that you and your family sang in the car? I didn't really put those puzzle pieces together. And now I do, because I know consciously that that's really going to amp those people up, and it's just going to add another memory into that piece of music. Like, we used to do this, and then at the wedding when we all came out with the fight song flag, and like all these things that this one piece of music has tied all of these different memories for this one group of people to, you know. And so it's almost like relatively new for me. Music has just been such a staple in my life, and it's been there doing these things for me, but it never occurred to me to like, let me consciously try to channel that for other people.
Oh, look, what I'm hearing, Miss Molly DJ Party, is this is when you came into your magic. Like, this is when you're kind of really owning it and claiming it. Because I think this is true for many of us, is we have these lives where we're exploring what we're interested in, what actually feels like it brings us alive, what we want to know more about. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's the purpose from step one, or the job, or the way we make money. Sometimes it doesn't even have to make money.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where you get to decide, am I going to claim this? Is that true for you? Do you feel that that was true for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think that I've been DJing for a long time. I've been in the industry for a long time. So, but I don't think that I really had the courage to just like commit to it and really be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Cause it's scary, and it feels a little selfish to be like, I'm going to go be a DJ now, you know, like
Yeah.
on paper that looks a little crazy, but to actually be like, no, this is what I do, and I'm gonna put the time and the effort into fully encompassing everything that means. And that means taking the time with my clients, taking the time to do the research on the artist-based parties that I throw, taking time to really do the deep dive so that the experience and the connection between me and the guests, whoever the guests are, is like as present and authentic as possible.
Yeah. Just again, even as you're speaking about it, I can hear the magic coming through you. It's like you have this deep commitment to, it's not just a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
It's a whole experience, because you can get this sense memory where your memories are active and certain feelings, you know, come to life. Yes, Molly. Yes. And you know what? I think claim it. Like, yes, this is my job. This is who I am. I'm a DJ. It's like, for me, like in the last couple of years, because I've claimed that, like, I am the founder of Big Life Magic. My job is to remind women that they're magical.
Mm-hmm.
It actually took me a while to be able to like comfortably say, hi, my name's Deborah and my job is magic.
Yeah.
But as a kid, what did I want? That's what I wanted. I wanted to just be at play in the magic realm, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, you know, like here I am at 50, and yeah, what's my job? My job is making magic and reminding women that they're magical. Full stop. I don't have to justify that in any other way. And I just felt like I wanted to say that so that you can continue to listen to Molly and myself and like give yourself permission to be who you want to be. And fuck all the narratives that tell you maybe you're not allowed to be that. I'm not saying it's easy. Nor will I think Molly will say that it's easy.
It's not easy.
Because you use the big C word there,
Mm-hmm.
courage. You know, we all need a dose of that when we're stepping into our magic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I want to be, and you know how to end that sentence, I say go on out there and do it. Just one step at a time. Just one step at a time. Because that's when the magic starts to happen, and you start to kind of see how you can put these pieces together. Like you're doing, Molly, with curating these amazing musical, magical journeys, you know?
Yeah.
But for you, as you were, you know, growing up and in a family that it's like your mother was a singer, yes, so you've got music all around you.
Mhm.
How are some of the ways that music has either helped or healed you?
I think that music reminds me to be vulnerable.
Mm.
And that that being vulnerable is still a safe thing to do. I know that sounds crazy because being vulnerable is risky for many of us, but the times when I have allowed myself the greatest vulnerability with music has been the times that it has healed me the most. I remember I also was a trip hop singer for a long time, and sorry, singing on stage is such a powerful thing because the vibrations of the music actually go through your body. And not
Yeah.
only do they go through the outside of your body from listening to it, but your whole body is vibrating in your voice. And
Mm.
I've had moments on stage where I was so in the moment with the song and with my bandmates and with myself that I almost wanted to cry.
Mm.
And I remember one time I had a job and it was kind of ending and I was super freaked out because I didn't have anything else lined up, but they were like, we just don't have a lot of work for you right now. And I went home and I sat down at the piano, which I do not play well, and I recorded this song that then I just started producing with all of these different sounds on this little 8-track digital recorder, and it's called Softly, and it's basically about like, if you bring me these words, then I will sing softly regardless of my state of mind when you find me. Like, so
Mm.
even if I'm falling apart, I'm still going to do it, and I'm going to trust that I am breaking open in the way that I'm supposed to, or that whatever is coming that feels really hard right now because it's different and I haven't done it before is going to be the right thing to open the door for me where I'm supposed to go. And that was hard because I really didn't have a lot of money at that time. But I do remember that certain moment just as a, like, I have to channel this fear into something because it's
Mm.
gonna overtake me.
Mm.
And every time I hear that song or sing that song now, I just like, oh, it's such a reminder of like, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm right here. This is where I'm supposed to be, even though I'm scared. And just letting the course of the universe, or, you know, whatever you believe in, that everything is unfolding the way that it's supposed to.
Beautiful. Well, how can we listen to that song, Molly?
It is on Bandcamp, and I will send you the link for it so that we can put it in the
Please.
show notes. I like
Yeah.
just forgot all about that until you just asked me just now. Um, because a lot of times, you know, feelings are really scary and I want to like block them or run away from them. And that's one time that I really was like, okay, what is supposed to happen right now? I don't know what to do. And then I got the message.
Yeah, softly.
Yeah, and I was like, oh damn.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, because we're not always liking the messages that we get, let's say that, but they
No.
always are the directive that is actually gonna support us to get to the next bit. And how beautiful that you were able to use the magic at your fingertips, literally at the piano, because when we have fear or anxiety, like, we do need to channel it somewhere, because
Yeah.
that's when it gets destructive, when it's kind of like just running around in the system with nowhere to go except get faster and faster and more furious.
Yeah.
That's when it's really dangerous. Like, I think fear is, hey, let's normalize it. We're going to get fear maybe on the daily, at least once a week.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do we actually work and channel with it? And I agree. I think music can be something that helps us to not only access memories, but also shift feelings from one state to the next.
Yes.
You know, it's like, and it's accessible to us. You know, like you can sing to yourself a
Yes,
song,
absolutely.
you know? Like what's really strongly coming to my memory now, and I haven't thought about this in years, Molly, is when my son Sage died, there were certain songs that were on repeat. And I had I was back in the day where I had my little iPod that I would like clip to, you know, my waist with my earphones when I'd go on my morning walk or whatever. And for months, I listened to those songs again and again and again and again. And part of it was affirming to me. It was like, yes, this hurts. Yes, this hurts. And part of the affirmation was, yes, there's a reason for this. And yes, spirit and the angels are with you. Like there was select songs and they were curated by my heart and I really needed them. I didn't share that playlist with anybody. It was about me, my heart, the music, and what was going on. But then I got to this point months later, and I'm saying months and months later, when I was actively in the place where it's time to shift, like give yourself the next step, like move forward in this journey, Deb. And there was the day where I realized, like it dropped in really clearly. It was like, you have to delete that playlist. Because to move forward, you can't go back to those songs because they were so strong in my energy that it would take me to that really important chapter for my heart, which is that first year after Sage died, where I learned so much about heart and healing. But I also knew I couldn't go back. I needed to go forward. And if I kept my hands on that playlist, I could, with one little click play, be back there.
Yeah.
I did not immediately delete that playlist. It was really, really hard.
Yeah.
It was a really hard move. It took me weeks to, again, get the courage to be like, Deborah, you're actually going to be okay. You don't need to go back there. You can move on to new songs, you know? And it felt really scary. And I did. I took my sweet time in gathering that courage. And, you know, and every now and then I get this little sense memory of one of those songs, you know. And now it's years later, I could probably go back and listen to them, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like I allow them to be where they were because at the time they were healing balm for my heart. They really were. Yeah, wow, the power of music.
Yeah. That's so powerful too, that you knew when, because I'm sure for a long time that that playlist and those songs in that order were I'm sure they challenged you a lot in like getting to the depth and peeling off the layers and layers of those feelings and the process. But then they were also like such a safe space.
Yeah, it
And
was,
like
yeah,
a security blanket, and to be able
yes.
to take off that blanket and be like, I don't want to go back to that blanket. Not like not honoring the blanket, but being like,
Yeah.
I don't want to stay stuck in that place. And thank you
Yeah, there
so
was a
much.
desire in me to allow my heart to get to the next layer. Because you're right, it was like a blanket because it felt like the music was affirming how I felt on the inside. And I needed that because nobody else in my world had lost a child. Nobody else actually knew what I was feeling. And there's no way I could explain it really.
Yeah.
Not the exquisite details of it while I was trying to heal it at the same time. And so this daily playlist was kind of my affirmation, like the music understood me. You know, it's so powerful. I'm also remembering a time when there was, I was doing a theatre performance where it was a theatre form called playback theatre where the audience members come up and they tell a story and then the actors and the musicians play it back. And there was a young man who came up to tell the story about how important music was to him. And it was really intense, heavy metal music that he would play on big headphones because his his neurodivergent reality meant that the world was really hard to be in. And the music, even though to others it felt so chaotic and loud, it actually helped him to calm down as almost like that opposite meet place.
Wow.
You know, another place. And again, he was saying, like, people don't understand, without music, I wouldn't be able to just easily walk down the street because I'm so sensitive to the whole world. So there's so many ways that music turns up in magic and healing. Woo!
Yeah.
Let's
I
feel
mean,
that.
I agree. It's vibrations. I mean,
Yeah. 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 It's all in the vibe.
mhm.
Yeah. Well, because we are.
Yeah.
like you could say that our energy is creating music all the time. It's just not that we don't necessarily hear it in the same way, you know. Do you see when you're either singing from a stage or doing the DJ work, whatever it might be, do you see shifts in people, whether it's certain songs or whether they've been on the dance floor for a while? Like, do you get to witness that, Molly?
I do. And it's honestly one of my favorite parts about being a DJ. I did a Harry Styles dance party at a local venue called the Orange Peel, and it was such an experience. Like, we did it up. It was so dope. And because I don't know who's going to be at the show, I don't know how they're going to show up for the show. I prepare, but I don't know what order I'm going to go in. I don't know if there's a group of songs that are like, this is an alternative crate. These I'm probably going to play. These I might play. These I can play, maybe, depending on who's there and how they're feeling. And so I'll have like one or two songs that I may start with, but I don't know until I walk out on the stage. And that's like, that is risky feeling, but I don't want to get too attached to like what's going to happen because I have no idea what's going to happen. And so I remember I walked out for that show and there were a lot of people there already. And the energy in the room was just like, it was so bubbly and like fun, and everybody was dressed up. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think I was going to start here. And I started somewhere where I wasn't even expecting to. And the surprise and delight in their faces when we just went straight in was just like, I get goosebumps now because it was so fun. Like, they didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I kind of like met them and it was amazing. Another time I was doing a wedding and they had such eclectic taste and they were just these beautiful human beings. And she was like, they did not like a lot of pop music, but they did say, she was like, I may need the wobble at some point. And I was like, yes, girl, let's go. And we were grooving along and I was like, I think it's time for the wobble. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I put it on and she turned around and just locked eyes with me. And she was like, yes, bitch. I hope I can curse up here. And like the joy in her face, because I was like, I think it's time. We're going to go for it, was just like, she gave me such a gift with that response. And it just like the party just bumped to the next level. Like, they didn't even do the wobble. Like, it wasn't even about that. It was about the fact that like, if we got to that point, that song was going to push her into this other place. And then we did. But she didn't say like, you must play this. She was like, you'll know if I'm ready. You'll know if I am ready. And it was
also hearing that, she trusted that you were going to be able to feel it.
Yes.
That really speaks to you.
Yeah.
That she knows Molly's got this. Like, Molly's literally on the pulse. You're going to be able to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's such an amazing, because like, we're on this ride together, and like when I try to like, it's like trying to read the room and I'm just like, okay, what is the temperature? And a lot of times I get it right. And sometimes I don't. And then I'm like, okay, let me try to go this way instead, you know, but just because people don't always know what they want. They're not always able to tell you what they want. And sometimes when they tell you something, you're like, are you, that doesn't feel right to me. And then I may try it, or I may like save it for later. Um, but when you're with people and they trust you on like when it's ready to get to the next level, or when it's ready to slow it down and get a little like intimate or that kind of thing, that is my favorite feeling of getting to do what I do.
Yeah, and I've been the person on the dance floor who can feel that.
Yes.
You know, and I'm an awkward dancer. So like when the music's really working and it's going from one to the next, it helps me to relax into just being free to move my body and have a good time.
Yes.
Which is really important, because I'm not naturally somebody who wants to like break it down on the dance floor.
Same.
You know.
Same.
But my husband is an amazing dancer, and also he also is a musician. His instrument of choice is the djembe.
Oh, nice.
And here on the island, there's this big dance party that happens every Sunday, and it's called Sunday School. And it's literally outside, DJ, under the stars, music for hours. And Molly, one day you're going to come play at Sunday School. I just know it.
Yes.
I want this in my world. I just want this in my world.
Me too.
And you can really feel it. Like there's some DJs that don't quite got the changes, or the, you know, and I can tell when someone's really on the pulse, because my husband lets go, and I'm like, you go on outside and play. And he'll hit the dance floor, and he's gone for a long time with the sweat pouring, because it's almost like he can get into the trance of letting it go, you know?
Yeah.
And it's absolutely delightful to watch. Like I'm always so happy for him, you know? But I remember I said to you, this is quite a while ago, Molly, I said to you, you know, I'd love for you to come and work with some of the DJs who perform at Sunday School. And I mentioned the young men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when there was like the literal record scratch where you said, but what about the women?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, look what I've just done. Like because here I see mostly male DJs. Like here on the island, I've seen one female DJ once.
Yeah.
Right? Just once. And I've lived here for years now. So that moment there, you really cracked it open for me, Molly, because I was like, wow, there are so many industries where it is male dominated and there's the handful of women in there. I never thought about music and the DJ realm as one of these places, but you're somebody who's making a difference in that area too, right?
I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I hope that girls and women seeing me doing what I'm doing in the way that I'm doing it is showing them an example that they can do it as well. Being in the music industry, especially like as a trip hop singer, which is electronic based, and being a DJ, it's such a male dominated industry. And I remember, like, even though I wrote the songs and I pre-programmed them, when people would come up to talk to us about the songs, they would always go to my drummer. Like they would never, because I'm just the singer, right? And I would always be like, and but I wasn't playing an instrument on stage. So it was always just like, wow, okay. And, you know, now being a full-time DJ, I really didn't know a lot of other women DJs until I got to Twitch, which is the streaming platform, because it's a global platform. There are a couple other female DJs in town. I'm a different, like I'm an event-based DJ, and so I don't do a lot of bars or clubs. I do a lot of private parties, a lot of themed events, a lot of specific shows, but I don't like have a Friday residency at the same bar. It's just not it's not my business model. It's just different. Like, it's totally fine. But seeing the women on Twitch from all over the world rock in the way that they do, meeting other female producers, you know, meeting a woman who's actually from here who does a lot of playback in Ableton, and not to get too nerdy, but like she's done all the programming for American Idol, all of the playback, and like arrangements for like Kanye West and like these huge superstars. Her brain is so technical, you know, but she's also a really beautiful blonde woman. And I cannot imagine what it's like to walk into a room as her and people probably think that she's the assistant, or it's just such a
Yeah.
strange thing. But that's one of the reasons that I love doing events. I do a daddy-daughter dance with one of the local venues here, and seeing the little girls respond, and like a small group of them always kind of finds their way over to me and wants to see what I'm doing. And I'm like, do you want to come back? Do you want to see like how everything? And I'm like, sorry, dads, she wants to be a DJ.
Yeah.
And you can have an amazing, successful career, but you're going to have to deal with some BS of being like, well, she's not smart enough, or she doesn't. And I taught myself how to DJ in a program that's not meant to DJ. I am a musician first, and so I'm a very instinctual. I'm not a turntablist. So there are lots of things that are very not traditional about the way that I DJ. But the fact is that I approach it in the way that I approach it, which is a very musical way. I don't scratch. I don't do like the bear, bear, bear. I don't do any of that.
That's almost a relief to me.
Yeah. Right? I've never played. I don't even have that sample on my computer ever. But and that's just the thing, is there are so many different kinds of DJs, and there are so many different ways to be good at it. And I was always looking at the guys that came from like DJ culture, that had mentors and that did turntables and that were guys. And I was always thinking, well, I'm not legit because that's not me. And it wasn't until like probably 4 or 5 years ago that was like, no, that's not me. But the fact that that isn't me is kind of an asset, because I do this other thing, and my focus is really the connection with people and helping them shift to, maybe they had a hard day and they walk into a show, and then I just want them to be able to be free to dance out and get out of their body whatever kind of stress they've been holding, you know, like you were talking about with the party.
Yeah. And what you're bringing forward is what I think is vital elements of female leadership, which is we feel the room.
Yeah.
We are instinctual, intuitive beings. I mean, we all are, all humans are, but women in particular, because of the way we operate and literally the way we're put together, we are on instinct and on feeling more than, let me think of the strategy first and then go and execute it, which is a bit more of the yang masculine energy. And so this, you know, of course you're not going to do it like all of the guy DJs do it, you know.
Right.
And maybe if you tried to do it that way, you wouldn't be the success that you are. You wouldn't be having the wonderful life and times and these parties with these people who are having the best party ever because Molly's their DJ.
Yeah.
Yes. But you've also moved into educating around becoming a DJ. Is it becoming a DJ or learning how to do the actual making the music work? Tell us a little bit about that, because someone listening might think, well, my magic's music too.
Absolutely. And I will say that, you know, even if you don't know exactly how it's supposed to work, doesn't mean that you shouldn't start. Like, I've been DJing for 14 years and I didn't go full time until 2.5 years ago, you know, and but I still had a lot of success and a lot of fun. And you know, it just because don't feel like you need to force yourself to hit your stride right away, because it is always unfolding.
Yeah.
And
everything.
Yes,
Yeah, hear
everything. It's
that,
always
women.
like
It's
more
always
will be
unfolding.
revealed. Yes,
Mhm.
all the time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just getting your feet wet. So, through going full time, I never thought of myself as a person that has something to teach, even though my parents are both teachers, two teachers, and my grandmother was also a teacher. So I am releasing a course teaching DJs how to live stream,
Oh, wow.
because live streaming has brought such unexpected blessing to my life, just being able to connect with so many different
Mm.
people all over the world. Um, and I do have ideas for my next course after I release this one soon, that will be teaching women how to DJ. And that's
Yeah,
whether you want to have a party of one. Like, I get down with my dog all the time. We have a little dance party in here. Or you
yeah,
want to like take it to the stage, whatever, because just being able to make a dope playlist that takes you on a journey, or that, sitting down and being like, I need a playlist to help me focus, to help me do return the hard emails and work on the taxes or put away the groceries, all of this stuff that like I don't want to do.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is when I turned to you. This is months ago now, but I sent a message to Molly and I said, Molly, I need your help. I cannot pick up the hand weights. I mean, I can. I just keep refusing to. I was like, I need to make this fun. I know that I need to be doing more strength training in my life. I know I want it. I have all the justification about why I should do it, and I'm not doing it. And I was like, I need a dope playlist. I know I need to know that there's a certain groove I'm going to get to. And so I reached out to Molly and I was like, Molly, do you want to, and we did a magic swap. I made a meditation for Molly with specifically what she was looking for her world at that time. And Molly made me a play. And it was beautiful because I was like, Molly, I want to be working it for about 20 minutes. And then I need about 10 minutes of the cool down. And like we had this back and forward of what I needed. And it got me now, like now I do it,
Yes.
now I do it, like, because I put the Molly playlist on and I've got my thing and I've got, like before the rainy season here on the island, I was on the yoga mat underneath the mango tree
Oh,
doing my hand weights with the music. But it was like, it was the music that made me do it, because my mind was going to tell me all the reasons not to do it.
yeah.
And then I got into the playlist and it was like, I could stay with you in the different beats. And I knew, like, I found my own little grooves. It's like when I moved, you moved song and I would move, what weight I was working with or what body part I was working with. And it literally helped me get the job done.
I'm
Because
so
music can be a great motivator too. Like it
Oh,
can really shift energy quickly.
yeah. So quickly.
So quickly. So for those listening, like, check it out. Like the streaming, learning how to stream. That's Twitch, right, Molly?
Yeah, Twitch is one streaming platform, but there are people live stream on YouTube, Mixcloud, Facebook, not so much because the copyright issues, they kick you off all the time. People live stream on TikTok. So there are lots of different platforms, but that is the one that to me has really put a lot of effort into the DJ community. And it's got a really great and exploratory community where people want to hear different things, because like I'm an island girl. I grew up on steel drums and different
Mm-hmm.
rhythms, and I was in marching band, and I like to throw all of that stuff into the mixing pot, which probably is pretty weird to a lot of people, especially DJs, to like throw on like some brass band and steel drums, but my community loves it. And so that's a place where I get to do that. Like, I'm not going to do that at a wedding or at like a Harry Styles dance party, but having that musical freedom to be able to like play whatever you want or to listen to stuff that you've never heard before, can be very cool.
Yes, yes. If that is sounding good to you, my friends, follow the links in the show notes and find Molly on Twitch. The other thing I wanted to bring here, this is kind of like we're shifting gears a little bit, but I was thinking about it before recording this episode with you today, because this is something that happens to me all the time in regard to music. And I don't know if you know this, Molly. I don't know if our listeners know this, but one of the ways our intuition works is we have all the different clairs. We have most people know clairvoyant, which means clear vision.
Mm-hmm.
But one of those clairs is clairaudient, which is clear listening. So certain songs or sounds or whatever can actually be really supportive to your intuition. But also, this is how your intuition is communicating with you, right? So what happens to me often is I'll wake up in the morning and I'm already singing a song. And I just wanted to invite, like, maybe that's happening to you too. This is another way that music plays with our magic, because I take note. Like, if I wake up and I'm singing a certain song, I'll be like, what is that song about? Is it connected to a person I know? Is it connected to a memory? Is it inviting me to do something in particular? And there's always a message there. It's never random. Like, first it feels random, but after kind of tuning in, the music is a gift. Like, it's giving you a message either from your own intuition or your spirit tribe saying, we want you to listen in this direction. Has anything like that ever happened to you, Molly?
Wow, that is, first of all, that is so cool and so fun. It's almost like a scavenger hunt of like this little like nugget that then you need to like unwrap and unfold and follow. Honestly, I'm such a heavy sleeper that me waking up in the morning feels like an ordeal.
Right.
Every once in a while, I will wake up with a song in my head, or I will have like last night, I had dreams about, DJing a wedding, of course, because I've been doing it a lot lately, or I'll have a dream about streaming. So there's music there, but I don't always remember what it is. I remember like a vague part, like these little snippets of the dream, but I'm not always able to grab onto like the specifics. I wish that I were, and I think if I practice more, I would be able to. But most of all is that I remember that I'm like in the company of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're in your magic place.
Yeah.
Up in dreams time, you're still working your magic.
Oh, yes,
And I'm
absolutely.
like you, like, I find it hard to grab dreams. Like, they'll slip from me really quickly. It's rare for me to remember lots of details in a dream. It's like my husband can tell me like the whole dream like he's watching a movie, all the details. Like, when we first met, I even literally need to say to him, are you making this up or is this real? Right? And he's like, no, this is real. This is my dream. So I just wanted just to normalize it. Not everybody is going to have amazing dreams. And also not everyone is going to be tuned in with clairaudience. Like, I work all my clairs, which is why I think, I hear it. But I think a lot of people do hear clairaudient messages from their intuition and they don't pick up that that's actually their intuition.
Yeah.
The same thing can happen if, like, in a day or 2 days in a row, you hear the same song 3 times. That's also a message for you from your intuition. Like, you could just say, oh, well, that's the popular song right now or whatever. Sure. Or you could just accept it with like, this is a gift to me from my intuition or my spirit tribe. They're wanting me to look and focus in that direction. Because trust me, it is always something there that you are not quite noticing or not quite connecting to. Like, it's just another gift of music in how it turns up for us. Like, I want everybody to expand this idea about like we get to make the music or we get to enjoy the music, but also the receiving of music can be bigger than earth realm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And just, I love that you said that. I did not even know that that was a thing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes there'll be a song. I listen to the radio because I like to keep up with what's happening in radio or TikTok or what, all the musical trends.
Yeah.
And I'll be driving downtown to a gig and I'll be like bumping this one song. And then I get back in the car after the gig and that song is on again and it's the radio. And for me, I'm like, wow, Top 40 radio really does have that like 20 song playlist.
Yeah.
And of course it does, because that's the way that that is programmed. But also there is magic in there. Like, I don't know what time I got out of the car and if it's so many hours. I mean, I'm sure I could do the math of like, what is the programming on this? Or I could
Yeah.
just be like, let me actually listen to this song a little bit more, because even pop songs and all the bangers that we like to shake our booties to have other meanings, whether it's like the way that the bass line comes in or the way that the chorus is put together. Like, it all has something for someone. It's not,
Yeah.
it all has something for someone.
Yeah. And those songs that become popular, that's our collective consciousness wanting to channel in that direction. It's
Yeah.
like, that's the message I want to hear, or that's the message I want to elevate. Sure, the beat might be great or the lyrics might be really working, but it is also speaking to a collective consciousness.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think people who work the magic of music, that's what you're doing, because of that vibrational sense of who we are and being able to connect with us in that way. What a gift. You're so lucky, because I'm not a music person. I never took music as a kid. Like, I love to listen to it. I'm obviously inspired by it, but I can't play a note. Like, I don't, like, it's not my realm in the magical playground. So I always have, like, great fascination with people who can work music magic. Hence why when I met you, I was like, I want Molly to be my friend. I'm going to claim Molly as my friend.
Same. And I
Yeah.
want to challenge you to say that as many people in the world need to be making and playing and channeling music, we also need the people that receive the magic of the
Yeah.
music and that call the people that make the music and are like, I know that I need some music to help me do this thing. So like, don't back yourself out of that group, because it's, people are like, oh, I don't know anything about music. And I'm like, do you know what you like? Because that's
Yeah.
something that you know about
Yeah.
music. Do you know what
Yeah.
moves you to
Yeah.
do certain things? That is a way of using music to create magic or to allow magic into your life. And sometimes it's just allowing the magic, which I think is also very important in the world today, is people like allowing it to
Yeah.
affect them.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely something that music can universally do. It can affect us in that way. It can shift our mood to feeling more hopeful. Or sometimes I'll put on certain songs because I'm like, I can feel the tears behind my eyes, but they're not coming. I just need to let this out. And so I like give myself my own like little mini healing moment. And I put on that certain song that I know is going to make me feel a certain way. And I know exactly what I'm doing. People do it with movies too. It's like, I'm going to put that sad movie on now, eat the chocolate because I need to feel my feelings. It's like sometimes we do need help
Yeah.
in being human,
Yeah.
because it's tricky.
It's really hard.
Yeah. But we have all these amazing tools, and music is one of them. So,
Yeah.
Molly, we've already kind of mentioned it a couple of times, the ways that people can connect, but let's get really clear. How can people stay connected to you?
Well, I am DJ Molly Parti everywhere. Molly with a Y, Party with an I, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, all of online in the interwebs. So if you Google, it will all come out. And I'm out there in the ether webs doing the things, and then in person as well.
Yeah, yeah. And this is how people would find out more if they want to do your course, if they want to know more about how they can make music for themselves and stream, if Twitch is, you know, their dreamland that they want to enter.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So if, you know, if you're listening and you're like, I want to make a playlist, follow along, click some links. Now, what we do here at You Are the Magic is every episode is dedicated so that we can get a sense of, let's share this magic around. Let's honor the people or the places or the moments that have meant something to us and then pay that forward. So as the guest, Molly, the dedication is yours to give.
Well, I love that, and what an honor. And I think that as someone who has leaned into my magic in my 40s, you know, not having the courage to do that beforehand, I would like to dedicate this episode to any other women or any other people out there that, you know, may feel a spark of something and a pulling of something, that they want to do something, and maybe think, well, it's too late, or I'm too old, or it's too, you know, Sharon Stone didn't even start hitting it until she was in her 60s. You know, Bill Withers didn't start playing out until he was 42. There are so many just amazing humans that, you know, really didn't hit their stride until a little bit later in cultural years, as we like to call it, or whatever. And I want to say, F that. Get your feet wet, jump in the pool, do the thing that you've been being called to do in a way that feels safe to you, and just start exploring it, because you have no idea where just putting that foot in the pool could lead.
Oh, I love that. And you know what I'm feeling, Molly? It's like this is a dedication to all of those women. And also, you may be a woman who is close to another woman who sometimes you feel like, I want to push you in the pool. Like, you've got so much to share. Take the step. And so let's all be together in this. Let's support everyone, no matter what age you are, to step into your magic. And if you feel like you're in your sunset years, that's the most beautiful time. And also support others to do the same. Yes, I can feel that. Because deep down, my friends, we all know what our magic is. Deep down, we know what makes us feel good, what we want to express, what we want to share. So no matter where you are, listen to our Molly and just put your toe in.
Yeah, because you never know who needs the gift that you're holding inside.
That's right. And also, you need it too.
Oh, yes, the world.
It's part of what you're here to do. Figure out your gift and then give it away.
Yeah.
Yes, my friends, and then everything expands and it gets a whole heap more fun. And the first thing that you really need to do is to believe what I say again and again until everybody believes it, because, you know, it's true. I'm going to say it. You know what I'm about to say, but please hear it and breathe it in, because it's you, my friend. You are the magic. Thank you, Miss Molly, for being here with us. Breathe it in, my friends. You are the magic.
Thank you for sharing your time and your magic with me in the latest episode of You Are the Magic. I invite you now to stay connected to that magic within you. You may choose to connect via a tune. It's a 5-day audio activation that's going to connect you to your intuition and then turn the volume of that inner guidance system up. You may also choose to become a member of the Big Life Magic Makers. It's our virtual community for women who are saying, yeah, I'm freaking magical, and I want to be hanging out with some soul sisters who not only believe in their magic, but are supporting each other to activate it. There's so many ways you can support your magic today with your intuition, through community, by connecting to me, and I invite you to choose you and your magic now. If this episode or any of these episodes have supported you in any way, I would love your support by sharing a review on the platform that you are listening or watching on. It really helps me to get this podcast into more ears and more hearts so we can claim it as women. We are freaking magical, and we are going to activate our magic to create the changes in the world that are moving us towards more love, abundance, prosperity, and joy. Breathe it in, believe it to be true. And to you, my friend, you are the magic.